Right, let's go. Yeah, we're recording. So we're talking about that earthquake in Turkey that just happened, and you were just telling me about these 7 churches and the history.
Yes. So the history. So I started by like typing in what sort of historic, because obviously I knew there's a lot of history in Turkey. Like they have those little buildings and stuff, like where they say giants lived, and so I thought that's what was going to come up, and it brought up the 7 churches of Revelation, like the book of Revelation, the churches out of that, and they represent, it says each church represents a time frame before the return of Jesus, and that's what has been a talk for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like with it all happening on the same night as the Grammy Awards, where they had the satanic performance of Sam Smith, they also had the first ever transgender winner that night as well. And it was also on February the 6th, which was the Queen's coronation date.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also the date of the Munich disaster. And yeah, it's just, and also that's another thing, it's on the border of Syria. This is what got me thinking, the border of Syria. So Syria haven't got a recorded earthquake, but then all of a sudden now they have. Why now? Do you know what I mean?
And the thing about Syria is there's loads of like ghost cities where no one lives. So
it's a war-torn country, so right on the border of that. So it's like these buildings we're seeing, or this rubble we're seeing, which is always from an aerial view for some weird reason, so we can see just how much destruction there is. It could have already all been there from when bombs were being dropped.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Ukraine situation, you know, where it's like it was there because all the ghost towns are already there.
Yeah.
It's already blown up for them, you know. It's
the perfect place to stage whatever you're going to stage, because it's a live action movie set. You can just do whatever you want there.
And an independent journalist could go there believing like, oh yeah, look at that building's been blown up. I must have just missed that one, you know.
Yeah.
Or look at the crack. So that was another thing. To get to the place, all the roads around it are destroyed.
Yeah.
They're all been cracked by the earthquake.
Yeah. Or they're going to have police or military checkpoints stopping them going through, right? That's how it's going to be. It's going to be like Ukraine. If you was an independent journalist trying to get there and see what's going on, there'd be police and military, and they'd stop you and they'd say, well, what are you doing? Why are you going there? No, that's not a good enough reason, so you're not allowed in. So yeah.
And those police are just doing their job. They believe they're doing their job, and that makes the illusion even more. So some people might say, oh, what are the police in it as well? They're not. They're doing the job. They're doing what they're told to do.
Yeah.
And they think they don't know what's there either.
Yeah.
They just told to do the checkpoint. Nobody's coming in and without good reason.
So let's go wild, Rambo. Do you reckon it's underground explosions? Is it weather weapons? Is it a satellite fucking laser beam shooting down? Or is it just natural? Is it natural? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't believe earthquakes are natural. I think it's some sort of underground explosion. Or, do you know what else I thought? Could be the storage of our energy, and they're using our energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going somewhere. I feel like our energy is always going somewhere.
Yeah.
What if it could be used for a natural disaster, to cause a natural disaster? Because that energy goes somewhere. And all the energy now being put back into this earthquake story. Cause, like, you can see what kind of energy is trying to pull from it. How they're only showing kids. It's like only kids are trapped under the rubble. Like, there's countless videos and photos of kids getting pulled out in fully clean clothes, but they've been trapped under the rubble for out 17 hours. I seen one. It was like two of them under there, like trapped under for 17 hours, and it feels like all these pictures seeing are these people finding these kids trapped in an hole and taking a picture of them first before they save them and uploading it into Twitter rapid, like before anyone else gets on there.
Yeah.
All about the likes, man. All about the likes.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that you'd see a kid trapped and you would think, I'm going to take a picture first before I rescue it. You wouldn't do that. Like,
No.
They wouldn't.
They're...
And all these...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, all the buildings falling down. Like, I've seen so many different videos of buildings just dropping. Like, and these people, it's like they're filming random buildings and then they're just catching it just in time on camera and upload it to social media. And the same as always. It's like micro clips. It's like 30-second clips of everything that's going on. So I've seen when they say this guy running past with this newborn baby, well, it looked like it. That's what it's supposed to be. It's just like a rubber doll or something. And it's all it takes is 30 seconds and a little headline like baby rescued or building fell. Well, schools just fell. That's all it takes, doesn't it? And it shows a building falling, which if you look at CGI clips and stuff on, even just on Instagram, Reddit, there's loads of buildings that they pull them down using CGI. It's like that's how these CGI artists must practice, using building destruction and stuff like that, because there's so many out there of buildings being destroyed.
Yeah.
And then it'll do a breakdown of how they do it and how they layer it and stuff like that, and how they even put real people into it. I may post one out later on. I've got loads from like back in the day when I used to collect those sort of videos.
Do you know, hey Rambo, do you know what's weird is I'm always looking at the YouTube feed, what they're trying to like put out there, right? Because YouTube knows what I like, right? Training videos and whatnot. Hot girls doing yoga and all this shit. And then there'll just be something random in there. Now, for some reason, they were showing me that footage of 9/11 where some cameraman is like walking around a fire brigade and then they all start running. Now, why the fuck did they show me that a day before all this earthquake stuff? And the earthquake footage is kind of near enough the same. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, I've put the two side by side. It's pretty much the same bit of footage, that 9/11 one and the one from Turkey. It's like, isn't it interesting how YouTube is like pre-programming you the day before for buildings dropping, dust, shaky camera work? It's just curious, isn't it?
And do you remember that one with the 9/11 when you were running? And there's actually, if you watch one of those videos, there's one where the guy runs through another guy.
Yeah.
Like it's just a hologram. Like it was all... And that's usually how it is, isn't it? And it's...
But let's say me and you, Rambo, went to Turkey right now. We got past the police, we got past the military. There definitely would be buildings dropped, right? That's our prediction. We definitely... Because they have to make it real for people. It has to be... But I
don't believe we'd be hearing screams and we'd be we'd seen dogs digging kids out of holes and all this stuff. I don't think any of that would be there, because I don't believe we would get these checkpoints. I believe would keep going.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't just get past one. You'd have to there'd probably come a point where you can only get through if you're in on the joke.
Yeah. But let's say, as if by magic we got there. We got to the little city where Bill. Yeah, there's definitely. In my prediction, there would be buildings dropped, right? But you could quite easily do that with special forces guys and demolition explosives, right? You could just put them in the corner of them old shitty buildings and drop them all on the same day. Like, all I need was 20.
Yeah, and that would have made a big enough vibration to be felt anyway.
Yeah.
Because there will be people. It goes kind of with the Beirut kind of stuff. Everyone hears a bang or feels a rumble, but nobody sees anything.
Yeah.
And that is all part of the illusion. You see all the flash and the lights and the smoke, but you don't know what's gone on. You just think you believe your own eyes too quick, don't you, Joe?
Yeah. Think about just in...
I'm saying with those short clips, these 30-second clips, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have to be that. Like, it shows like our attention span is at the all-time low.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? Like, there is no attention span. They actually say now, I always remember a saying when I was growing up, it was like, oh, you got the attention span of a goldfish.
Yeah. And
that they actually say now the human has a less attention span than a goldfish.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's what they're doing. TikTok, isn't it? TikTok, your attention span's gone.
Yeah.
It's all we need. That's how they seem to do it with all these things, and it's like nobody learns that. Where do all these videos come from? Why is everybody filming at just the right time all the time?
Yeah, man. You're making me want to go there now, Rambo. Right, there's a flight going tonight. There's a flight going tonight, and it arrives in the morning, and I reckon I could probably get... But I don't know, man. The thing is, Rambo, if I got there... Go on.
We would just see dust. If we was to magically get past past everything. There'd just be like rubble, and inside me, I believe that it's already there. You know.
Yeah.
It's right where they're dropping bombs for years and years.
Yeah.
Again, it just conveniently, they've been dropping bombs on Syria for years.
Yeah, and we know for a fact just below the Turkey side, all of them areas in Syria are abandoned. They're all abandoned buildings because loads of YouTubers have been there. It's no secret that the slightly just below Turkey, they're all abandoned buildings. So what they call ghost cities. So why wouldn't it be the same just slightly above it in Turkey? You know.
And it's one of those places as well. Because it's not in a part of Turkey where a holidaymaker might go, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not in Marmaris.
No.
It's like in an abandoned area there. And they've scared us away from going to places like Syria for years. Maybe it was all for now.
Yeah. You're right. They try and make out like the Taliban will cut your head off and rape you.
Just kidnap you. Yeah, straight away.
Yeah,
as soon as you get there. And they done that with that thing, didn't they? And that what was he called when he done that beheading? And then a load of videos come out. Oh, it was green screen and stuff like that. And although I don't believe the green screen videos we seen was the original, it was kind of just putting it out there that it was just camera work, you know.
Yeah.
Well, they brought the guy's daughter on. Do you remember when they brought the guy's daughter, the guy who got beheaded? They brought his daughter onto UK TV, Jeremy Kyle's show, didn't they?
Really?
And interviewed her, and it was like, my dad got his head cut off by the Taliban, and she laughed her head off the whole way through.
Huh? I don't remember that actually, but I do remember
I
like
it on my story not long ago, laughing her head off she was the whole way through. Proper crisis actor.
I do remember like it came out like the big scandal was that the Cambridge Analytica and all that were actually they were making fake beheading videos, right? But back in the day, Rambo, do you remember they were like you knew someone in it back at school that had a video of it, or they knew where the website was and they'd show you this really grainy, and it was horrible. You see the guy like they chop through his throat and he'd start gurgling and that. It was all fake. It was all fake.
That was another thing, so when it was like kind of school times. Like, them videos were just getting sent left and right everywhere.
Yeah,
like all sorts of these proper violent-looking videos at the time, and that's obviously another way of getting it out there and getting it in our minds and conditioning us. Because you didn't back in the day. I was not at even one point thinking that's not real. Yeah, I was turning away. Couldn't look at it now. I can look at these gruesome things that I'm seeing on screen and stuff because I know inside, I might be wrong, but inside it's not real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I can look at it because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've talked about it before I think last time I chat on just like a basic police ambulance emergency TV program that he was using a dummy and telling it was real, and it was blatant dummy.
Yeah.
Everything's fake, man. And it is.
Yeah. But they're good at how they do it. You know, it's about how they sell it to the masses. Yeah.
But I think though this is where I sometimes question what we even are. It feels sometimes that it's that scripted that it was always meant to be like this. Yeah. It was always everything is happening as it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do to change it.
It's kind of I find it interesting that it's all happening. It's all coming to a crescendo as I'm about to, as I get older. Do you know what I mean? They never done this when I was young. It seems to be going in time with my age. So I wouldn't be surprised if the world ended at the same time I was dying.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, because it's all been there. Because when you look at it, like we've missed, like our generation have missed a lot of things. Like we were addicted to mobile phones and stuff. I used to go out and play out and just mess around and stuff, play football. Like you don't see that anymore, do you? It's like everything's different. Like I was talking about this just yesterday. Like you're growing up us now. Could you name a politician?
What, as a kid?
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't even know. I didn't even know who the Prime Minister was until I was about 16, 17, maybe older.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Like it wasn't of interest to me. Yet, like kids of today, even at like 5 years old, they know who Boris Johnson is, they know who Trump is, they know who Biden is. It's like the they've changed the programming for this generation massively, haven't they?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like now, like the other day, like a trans person for the first time ever won that. I didn't know what a trans was when I was even 20.
Who? Yeah, no. Just out of interest, who is that? Who is the trans person?
Something with Sam Smith. Like I didn't like on other things like Greta Thunberg. I didn't know we didn't have these characters put in our place, like where you have to look for the right guidance. Like, oh, if you want to know climate change, just go and look. There's your Greta Thunberg right there. Like,
Yeah.
the kids have all got that now, and they reel off. Well, I've got kids myself, and they reel off exactly what is on the TV. Like, and it sounds really intelligent when I hear it at first. And I think it's more memory, you know. It's the memory is good to take it all in.
Yeah,
But
they just
literally reeling stuff off that I'm seeing Greta Thunberg saying stuff like that. You know, when I ask like my son about climate change, he's telling me stuff that they're word for word.
But
that is
let's not forget, like with kids, right? You know, certain days they'll make them do a project on climate change. They'll make them watch like an hour documentary, you know, run by the Greta Thunberg gang and stuff. So they put them aside to do them kind of projects, which is programming them. You know, like even the little kids.
We didn't have this.
Nah.
We never had this. So I think like you say, it's like maybe it was all to go with this, and maybe we're the generation that. We're trying to like kind of wake people up a bit, but like there's no helping these next generation maybe, because it feels like we had that choice of like you didn't have a phone, so you could talk and stuff. Like they don't care now. Like if you give someone a wrong answer, people check your answers on Google straight away. Like if I say something to my kid, he'd Google it.
Yeah.
You know?
I heard.
We kind of skip to it's whatever it is all for the next generation. That's why they're all on the apps and everything. Like kids, they're all on the TikTok, aren't they? Originally that was for kids, and now it's adults as well.
I will say though, Rambo, at my school there was a lot of programming with like race and stuff, because I went to like you know, what they would call a diverse school in it, where there's not very many white people, right? So every now and again there'd be this time they pulled us in to like watch a documentary about racism and all that kind of shit, which was basically...
Oh, yeah.
You know, remember Stephen... Do you remember Stephen Lawrence?
Yes, of course I do, yeah.
That was the first George Floyd. That was the test run for George Floyd. They tested out here in the UK, right? Because if you remember with Stephen Lawrence, there was two kind of like stories going. There's one, he was just an innocent black man, got killed by two arsehole white people. Then there was like a conspiracy that he was actually selling drugs on their turf. And they kindly asked him to stop doing it, and he carried on trying to sell drugs and that, and then they basically, you know, they had to, you know, remove him because he was trying to sell drugs to the kids and that. So it was just like with George Floyd, there was the mainstream story, and then there was a conspiracy to fuel the other side, and so it's interesting, isn't it?
Drug addicts, and he beat women up and all this stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. We kind of had that in our school, but they pull you aside and make you watch a fucking like they got the TV out, you know. They drag out this fucking TV on wheels.
Yeah, we had the old TV on wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the whole thing is changed. Though, like I was saying, like we didn't know it. All this stuff now, what kids are, it's standard procedure. That they know all. What these different, like what a non-binary is, what a trans is, what a politician's names is. They know all this. I didn't know any of this when I was a kid, and that's how you can tell it's changed massively. And we're just watching it. I feel like we were because there is a generation before us that have no idea at all about any of this and would never not believe what's on the TV.
Yeah.
Like the older generation only believe the TV. Then we're the middle generation that will question it. Then the next generation only believes the computer.
Yeah. I don't know about where you live, but I do notice out on the street there's a lot more young people that have got that that kind of stereotypical transgender look, where like really colourful hair.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's not that has nothing to do with how you've seen that on the TV and you're mimicking it, isn't it? Like that's a stereotypical person you've seen on TV.
You may think, and they may think they're doing it to be unique or be different different, like just to be different, but they're not. That's come from the TV because you look at it, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
They're multicoloured there, and half dressed in men's clothes and half dressed in women's clothes and stuff. I see that quite a
even
lot.
like there's even like a specific pair of glasses I keep seeing that goes along with the colourful hair, like these big kind of nerd glass, and it's just like, don't know, man. It's very robotic, isn't it? It's very, TikTok, the sound of a robot. TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I think the TikTok is to symbolise like it's kind of like coming to an end. This like I think it's more aimed at our memory and our attention span and stuff, because nobody remembers anything anymore, do they? Like, you don't need to remember anything.
No.
It's like there is something going on. There is something on. It's all aimed at to attack our minds, isn't it? Really. And so, like, flip it a bit. This is another thing I've talked about recently. Is like, whatever it is running this place, right? What if it is some sort of other race, other entity, or whatever? And what if there is only a few of them, and they're doing all the kinds of programs to protect themselves?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yep, I get you. Yep.
Yeah, and all this is about protection of them. So they keep us entertained, so we can't see that really. Everyone said that it's obvious if everyone came together, this wouldn't be able to happen, what is happening, but it's their job to keep us under control.
Let me throw a theory. Let me throw a theory past you, Rambo, or a film script or something, and then you. So back in the day, there was a few humans. There was just a few of us, right? And they, whoever they is, the Black Cube, whatever, vampires, whatever we want to call them, what we're talking about, they knew that if they could trick us into believing something, it would come true, right? So they thought instead of having a few humans, let's make loads of humans. Let's make as many humans as we can, because the more of them there is, the more we can trick them into believing what we want and then manifesting what we want. So they made the NPC. They made the robot human. Not quite a real human. Looks like a human, acts like a human. It bleeds. It can talk, but it's not quite a human. Now, we're here right now. There's too many NPCs. So the Black Cube, to keep the NPCs busy, because they're quite dangerous if they're not kept busy, constantly creates entertainment, problems, stress. Is to keep them busy, because they're becoming a problem now. A bit like a virus. There's too many NPCs and not enough souled beings that they're kind of dangerous. So the simulation, the Black Cube, whatever you want to call it.
Good movie, actually.
Whatever you want to call
Sounds
it.
like a movie I'd want to watch.
It's probably going to get stolen now, isn't it? YouTube's going to steal it. But yeah,
I like that thought as well. Yeah, maybe that is the thing, because I do believe in that theory of NPCs or whatever you want to call it. There is like kind of dead entities around us, and there is they are there, and you can feel them. Like, you can feel bad energy off people, can't you? Even online you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel like I can sense a bot me, like, sometimes and another good test is they're usually copy and pasted things, aren't they?
Yeah.
Online. But yeah, I believe that there is NPCs around us, and like you said, they are pretty dangerous because they're addicted to chaos and addicted to fear. They need this going on, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking this: does the human race have like an addiction to fear, and they're just feeding our addiction? Because it's like everybody needs, not necessarily like you say, the real people, these NPCs, they need it. They need something to talk about. They need something to worry about. They need something to blame other people for.
Yeah. And here's what I think. Yeah, again, this movie I'm talking about, this potential possibility, is that if you explain to an NPC or a soulless being that this is a matrix, they will automatically assume they can do whatever they want, and they'll start going around and killing. It's just a matrix. I can kill and rape and do whatever I want because there's no consequences. So you can't quite tell them the truth because they won't understand. They'll think you can just go and do what you want.
Yeah, and that is why they say they wouldn't be able to handle the truth. I've heard that so many times. Like, if it was to tell all, they wouldn't be able to handle it. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they just go into overdrive and just
start
going crazy. Like, they're already pretty crazy.
or they'd all start killing themselves, but they might take a few of us real souled beings with them, and that might be problematic for the simulation. Because I do think, Rambo, that the simulation will never hurt me. It might pretend like it's gonna make out like there's danger around, but it will never actually come and kill me. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I die naturally of old age.
You know what? Yeah. And then you've got like the thing of, has it always been like, it feels like since COVID, right? I shouldn't have said that word actually, but would take us down. But since then, things have just got wild. Was things ever this frequent? These things that just keep happening, one after another, after another, after another. Has it ever been? And they seem to be getting faker and faker and faker. So you can see these things, and people just forget about them the next day. They're gone, and there's another one, and then that story's gone. No one cares tomorrow. Nobody cares about the big story yesterday because there's another one today that's forgotten. And again, it's another way of shortening our attention span to prove it daily that nobody cares about stuff that happened last week. You know, it's all about the earthquake now, and the next week nobody will care about the earthquake because it'll be something else. And it feels like sometimes I feel like, is this a machine that's pumping this out, and it like an algorithm, how an algorithm suggests things that it thinks you might like. So the algorithm is suggesting all these things, giving us all these things, thinking this is what we like, and it can't keep up with the people's appetite for this kind of news and this kind of crazy stuff going on, and it's just going crazy where it's looking fake now, and they're running out of stories, and I don't know, it just feels like something's about to break down to me.
Well, like an engine, Rambo, if you wanted to blow an engine, right, you'd rev it really high, right, in first gear, you'd rev it so high eventually it would blow, and that's what it's like. It's like someone's trying to blow the machine.
They're revving the arse off it, aren't they?
But question for you, Rambo, when did you start noticing things getting weird? Specifically, when did you? For me, it was 2020.
2020,
the start before the COVID for me.
Before COVID, it was. Oh, we shouldn't have said that again.
Oh no, yeah.
But so it was probably 2020 before that happened, and it was. Do you know what? There was always it was kind of cute. I'd see cute things popping up, and I would hear people like. I'll say it. I've heard a few people ask about it and stuff, and I'd see it, and I don't know why. I made a Twitter and started like searching it in the search bar and look, and that was kind of it. And I was well into that kind of stuff for a long time. Really, I felt I'd spent a lot of hours following Socks on Tom Hanks's profile and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden something just clicked that it's all fake. Everything is, the Q story's fake. They're all fake. I'd been pulled in, and I realised that I'd been done over. I put all that energy into that. I actually felt sometimes my mind would be racing at night, thinking of like, oh, what else? It was an exciting story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It got me in. It pulled me in, and then if you look at what they used to always say, you were watching a movie, and that we actually are. That is the truest thing I took from Q, is we are watching the movie.
What about outside of life though? In the real, was there anything in the real world, out on the street, that made you think things are different?
Because I feel like a lot of people who I speak to who have done this, are into this kind of stuff, they've all had some sort of traumatic experience or something that's gone massively wrong that has turned them to this. Do you know what I mean? And somehow I ended up in a situation where I was on my own a lot.
Yeah.
And that is where I kind of got into it. I got into it through it's like a trauma. A trauma kind of triggered it. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel it happened for me. And it didn't just happen overnight, because I feel like I was well into all the Q stuff and that. And then when I realised it was all bullshit, everything, that was hard hitting. That was like a good few months of like dwelling on myself, like, am I nuts or what? Do you know what I mean? Like, didn't know what to think. I was just like, wow, I must be crazy. And I'd try and like drop a bit to some people, and I'd get like that feeling where they think you're nuts. And then one day it just weight lifted off me. Just one day, it just felt like it was just like, yes, I felt good for it. It felt like a superpower. The peace, and like even now to this day, we've said it loads. It's like you can't stress me out, to be honest, because nothing's that serious.
Obviously we won't go into personal details, but it's weird there was an event in your life that changed your path.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
It was like a shock to my system, and everything that I knew basically come away, and I had to basically fend for myself kind of thing and do everything myself with no help, and it kind of made me... It's like, I don't know how it came to me to start looking into the Q. I don't know what moment I thought I'm going to search that up, but I think it was just like a accumulation of seeing Q. Even it was made on Facebook. I seen a few people posting it. I was on Facebook back in them days.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, everything's fake, and
the thing about
from the rooftops.
The thing about Q is it gives you a lot of answers, and it's also very entertaining, isn't it? Like, it gives you a lot. Like, if you're questioning life, it will give you answers. It will give you people to hate, and at the same time, it makes it fun. You're like an online detective that's in on finding out who the baddies are,
and it all ties in. It all comes together. So like, you could be on two different things and it links somehow, and it's all because it's all been put out there for us, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard this saying loads of times. It's like why they call it the World Wide Web, and like the spider catches its prey in the web, doesn't it? And that's basically where we are. We're all online, like we're on a line, like that's how it kind of feels. And that's why I say I don't believe anything on the internet anymore, me. And with like local news, for instance, so like we've all seen people in local news stories where you go, well, I've seen people who are in the news. That's not that sort of news builds the belief in the wider, the mainstream news, doesn't it? So
yeah.
Because you've seen someone in your local news, and even like when you see someone on the news on your TV, it's that again is your area's news. Like BBC Northwest, they have different news, don't they? So not everyone is seeing that news.
Yeah. But the folks,
and when it's worldwide, they want us all to see it. That is all these local news all over the world, these local news places, that is helping to build the belief in the big news stories when they go worldwide.
If someone turns around and says, "Oh, I know someone that's in they're missing the point of what we're saying. I think, isn't it? Like they're not quite getting the picture of what we're trying to paint. How this is a artificial world, because that, like you said, that helps build it. That's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were saying before with the police. So those police are making that illusion, and they're not even aware of it because they're just doing their job, but then that creates the illusion for the people who are getting turned away, and then they then go on to tell other people, oh, you can't get there, the police there, you turn you away, and then the whole thing is real. Like, the illusion is there, and then they might let the odd few people and see a few buildings that have been torn down for years, for all they know, do you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like it's more something underground, if anything. I don't believe earthquakes just happen. I feel like they're done purposely. And there was like there's been three different earthquakes on that date over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, even just in the past few years, I think it was like 2016, 2012, and 1973. All earthquakes on the 6th of February. Big ones.
It's it's been, you know, we're only in February and they've hit us with so much, right? We've had that fucking balloon, the Chinese spy balloon, the earthquake, Sam Smith dressed as a devil. You know, it's really getting quick. It's the quickening, isn't it? It's really just one thing, like you said, one thing after another, after another.
They're just revving it up, aren't they now? Yeah. Like, that's how it just feels like we're at a point where something's got to give. Like, I feel like we're heading towards something bigger than we've ever seen before, bigger than 9/11.
Any predictions what that is?
No, not really. It's a world war is the obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really,
a nuke, innit? A nuke.
yeah. A World War Three is the obvious one because I think even with that Chinese spy balloon thing, there was like that's kind of heading towards a war as well.
Yeah.
So I think World War is the thing, but I do think World War Three will be televised, and that we will all probably have us how they did with the people in Ukraine. There will be planes flying over. Those soldiers are getting told, right, go over there. We're all seeing fucking planes flying everywhere, but they're just fucking probably bombing empty areas and stuff like that. They don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and that is what we're saying. The illusion. They're just being given orders. The person giving them orders is being given orders. They're just doing what they're told.
When you think about it, the last 3 years, Rambo, it's been like a test run, right? They've tested out lockdowns. Can we lock people down? Yes. Now they're doing, earthquakes.
Can we pull off a war?
Yes.
Can we pull off a natural disaster? Yes.
So if you combine all of them, you've got yourself the nuclear bomb in it. You can say, oh, a nuclear bomb's gone off in Scotland, so we've all got to lock down.
Yeah.
Because of radiation.
And we will see it on the TV. But if you look at it over the years, this has all been the same for years, like where they say, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and nothing ever happens. Like, it doesn't actually happen if you don't believe. If enough people didn't believe, like, say you had no TVs, no media now, nobody would know there was an earthquake.
Yeah.
No, but not a single person would know. Like, there's no worry. Like, there's no need for us to know. You don't see much. Like, do you know what I mean? We don't. Without the TV and that, we wouldn't know any of this stuff's going on.
No.
Nothing at all. And it's the same like with the strikes. I was talking to someone the other day about the strikes. All this UK, how all the strikes, the postal are on strike, everyone's on strike. Nobody would give a shit. Nobody would care if they weren't telling us they're on strike.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting the attention, and it's like they're making us feel like the world's burning down, basically.
Yeah. And they're
trying to make us feel, it is burning down
on
from
TikTok.
the inside out. Yeah, we're making it, we're burning it down.
Yeah, it's burning down on TikTok. If you go on TikTok, the world is coming to an end. It's like, it is Book of Revelations, but you go outside your house, the sun's shining, you can buy a cappuccino, there's food in the fucking shops, there's nothing going on at all.
Because I don't think that it does feel like they are making it all biblical. It is following as it kind of reads in the scripture, like it's a script that is being played out, and everyone believes in the Bible. Like, look, that's probably the most believed in thing, overall media, everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like that is being brought to life. That is all being manifested by us, our belief.
I've heard
how many people are going, oh, it's not real, but then the Bible said it, so so then they believe it. Do you know what I mean? Still believe that is going on.
Have you heard this one, Rambo? That they're using it. That whoever they is, they're using the Book of Revelations as like a recipe book to try and bring forth Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah,
and that's what I was saying about those 7 churches, how they represent a time period before the return of Jesus Christ. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And then this earthquake happens to go right where they are, right in the country of those 7 churches from the Bible.
Yeah, because that's quite an interesting
scripted
area of conspiracy, is people that believe that they are trying to actually bring back Christ.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, isn't it, man? Like,
it is. It's confusing sometimes. For like, I can't. It's that cherry picking again. Like, you can't pick and choose. Oh yeah, I believe that, but then I'm believing this bit over here. If they don't go together, it don't work like that. It's either like, I feel like that a lot of that goes on within this truth kind of community. People pick and choose. Like, yeah, that bit was fake, but this is real. Yeah. Because it says so here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see so much of that, and sometimes that burns me. That's why I can't spend much time on Twitter anymore. It just burns my brain out. You know, scrolling through, and it's the same shit. Everything's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always the same.
It's so boring. It's sickeningly boring in this society, and it's hard, isn't it? Because a lot of people have just woke up yesterday, innit? Or woke up. That word. They woke up yesterday.
Yeah, and they're excited by their
baby
findings
Cooper
and what they're finding, and they're following the clues and stuff, and then there either come a point where you carry on following them clues, or you see that it's just one big pantomime that's going on, and you're calling it real life. Like the other night when he was all dressed as the devil on the Grammys and all this stuff, it's like when that was like it was viral. I was looked at my eyes, it burnt my eyes to see it because I've seen it that many times. Like it's the same every year. And then this year we'll have the Super Bowl, the performance, and everyone's going to be posting, oh look, he's throwing an Illuminati hand sign, and he's got an eyeball on his top, and the stadium from above's an eyeball, and all this. And it's just after a bit it becomes a bit draining,
Yeah. But Rambo, you know it, I know it, the people listening to this know it. We've got to throw these fucking smartphones into a river, into a bin, wherever.
That's the only way, innit?
It's the only way. There's no other way. We're all trying to avoid it, and yeah.
And when you lose your phone, if you misplace your phone, put it down, you actually feel a feeling of disconnection. I do myself. Like I'm disconnected. Where's my phone? Panic mode.
Yeah.
And you can feel like your stomach turns and everything. Like, oh shit, like my phone. Like that's not normal. That. And do you know what I've been doing recently is going out and leaving my phone at home and going for a walk, and something feels different. I can't describe the feeling.
Feels nice.
Yeah, it feels nice, but I still have that feeling of my phone. Like I'll still pat my pocket. Like I've cut the cord on it for a bit and gone away from it, and it just feels. Yeah, it feels nice. I can feel. I can't describe the feeling, but there's something there. Like there is something connected to you with that phone. Knows everything about you. Knows more about you than anything else. Anyone and anything. The phone knows everything about you, doesn't it?
And this is my issue with and people are not going to like this. You might not like the problem with like things like Patreon or making money online is keeping you on there, and I think that's a bit of a problem, right? Because it's rewarding you for being on there and making more content. So part of you's like me, like I've still got a Patreon, and I make like £100 a month, and that's amazing, right? And then I'm thinking, fuck man, but that's keeping me on here. Now I'm breaking my own rule here of like I'm telling everyone like what you got to do, and I know I've got to do it, but then I'm gonna lose an income from it, and I think that's part of it. We can all somehow now make a podcast and be fucking online creators or TikTokers or whatever. It's all part of it.
There.
Yeah,
that is it, and that is why that is the what the future holds, doesn't it? That is why everything is virtual now. Like they want you on. The longer you're on the phone, the better, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Like that is it. Like as long as you're distracted, they're making us care about things. Like how many people care about when a celebrity gets married or when a celebrity gets divorced or what they're wearing or. Oh my God, he's on Harry Styles worn this at the Grammys and all that. People care about stuff that isn't important, like not at all. Nothing, no importance to their life whatsoever, but they're affected by it.
Uh-huh.
Like, and that is what this TikTok's for, isn't it? Like all these apps and stuff are for people. Like all these short clips of Andrew Tate. How many kids want to be Andrew Tate now?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really. Oh, he's in jail. It's not important to your life one bit, but so many people like free Andrew Tate and all this stuff.
Is there really? I'm not. I haven't seen that side of it, but yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. People are proper took in by anything they see, like, and with us in the future, like that is the future to work online and work from home. Like, look at all the Zoom calls now. Like Zoom came out in 2020. Like, how many people still use Zoom now instead of going to work?
Yeah.
And everything's virtual, isn't it? Like, I know we talked about this last time. The kids' money on the computer games, on the PlayStations, and that, and how every single game you play, you have to have a different currency, so it's kind of basically crypto for kids. Like trade, they've all got every game you play. The coins are called something else, so you can't just like put money on and use it across all games. They all have their own, so they're practically training you to get ready for cryptocurrency, aren't they, really? And then I know BBC yesterday or the day before said within 10 years the English pound will be a digital pound.
Yeah.
But that was a conspiracy theory for so long, and then that is where they're moving. Like, still, I know people now like that. Like, again, going back to the phone, only use the phone to pay for everything.
Yeah.
I refuse to put that Apple Pay on my phone, for the simple fact that I want to pay with cash.
Yeah.
I pay with cash. If you don't take cash, then don't get anything. You know what I mean? Like, I've done that a few times.
Do you have a sticker over your camera?
No.
I do.
What to say that?
Like, you got the.
So I was just saying you can't see. No, I don't have a sticker up, but it's all smashed in anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we've all got to do it. There's just got to be one day where we all just throw our fucking phones into the ocean or whatever, and that was it. We're going to be free, and we're going to go back to good times. And that
is freedom, because you kind of, that is, like I say there before, that disconnected feel. It's like a chain. Like, it's like a chain to the phone. Like, when you've not got it with you, it feels like you're just like a dog in a garden that's got the lead, and you just got that bit to go away before you have to come back to it.
Think how many.
Why I like to
go on.
Go on a walk. You know, give it a try. It's just nice. It's a nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's even like, think how many like people are not having a good sex life because they're so addicted to their phone. Like, you could be having great sex with your girlfriend, but you can't because your girlfriend's addicted to your phone, or you're addicted to your phone, or you've got to go and do something on your phone, or you've got to go and get a haircut that's the newest thing on Instagram or whatever, or some shit. And it's like so many little.
It affects your mood. And also with what you see on Twitter, like, if you look at Twitter, it's just doom and gloom every day. Like, if you're on that all the time, it's gonna affect your mood. You're not gonna be up for doing things. You might have been due to go out up for your walk, but you can't be bothered now because it's just made you feel a bit, subconsciously feels a bit depressed or sad or something. Do you know what I mean? I think that, like you say, people won't be in the mood for that sort of stuff because they've always got the distraction in the mind of something else. People like to be going to your queue theory, like where you stood in the queue. People love to be distracted, and everyone is always seeking out and looking for the next distraction, aren't they? Yeah.
But I mean, just that little thing of a connection between a man and a woman now is dead because of things like Snapchat, Instagram, Netflix. I remember dating one girl, innit? And like, when I go and see her we lived far apart, so I go spend a weekend with her. Part of it was she had to watch this thing on Netflix because everyone at work was watching this thing on Netflix. So like, instead of us having like time together or fucking or holding hands, walking down the beach.
On Netflix.
She had to watch this program on Netflix to keep up with other people watching it. It was ridiculous, to a point where I pretty much had to leave. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I can't have my life revolve around you've got to watch Netflix. It's nuts, man. It's absolutely insane.
That is it. That's the life, though, isn't it? That's all people have got to talk about is what they watched last night, and what the score was last night, and in the football or whatever it may be. Like, no one's got any genuine conversation anymore. It's all about you talking about what's on the TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like that. The Netflix, like, that's all people did. Go work, come home. By the time they had the tea, they watch something on Netflix, go bed and go and talk about it in work, come back, do the same again. Oh. That is life. Oh. Isn't it? And then you've got your travel to and from work. Your life's pretty much just to work and talk about what's on TV. And that is why I enjoy this conspiracy stuff, because your brain is thinking differently. It's thinking about things that are not on the TV all the time. Like, I can be walking and I'm looking at the sky and just thinking of weird shit, what it could be. And is there another sky? Is that the only sun? Is that the only moon? I'm looking at stuff like that all the time. Like, and that's what I enjoy more than... The most thing I enjoy about this, having this kind of thought, is that you're not talking about what was on Netflix. I don't remember when I last watched some full episode on Netflix of anything.
Yeah.
I haven't got the concentration for it. Like, I've tried. I've actually tried where someone would recommend and say, "Oh, watch this, watch all this. That's it, like symbolism or whatever it may be in the film." And I'll try. I can't even watch it.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There's probably some things on Netflix that are worth watching that are quite fun. But if your boyfriend's come over for the weekend, innit? I wouldn't pick Netflix over like fucking or spending time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you wouldn't. You real life things, yeah. And I just thought then, like, I bet now on Netflix, like, over the last couple of weeks, the trending programs would have been like natural disasters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Pre-programming the people.
Twister, the movie Twister and all that stuff. I bet all stuff like that's all trending at the minute.
Yeah.
They have to check that one out, actually.
Fuck yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy times, isn't it? Because I'm an old school romantic, Rambo. I like the idea of a soulmate. You know, you meet your soulmate and you live a happy life, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen now because the black cube is just killing the connection between people and even probably families, like between mums and kids and stuff. The connection's probably dead.
Haven't you seen where they like? I remember that something that used to annoy me more than anything on Facebook is when you could see like there was like someone posting something and then the person commenting it is in the other room or even sat next to them.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, like, and that is how it is, isn't it? Like, they're sat in the same room but commenting on Facebook to each other.
Great. I was in
instead of just sat there and talking and do whatever you want to do, like go out for a walk, anything.
It's
and now we'll
insane.
just comment on each other on Facebook and make everyone thinks we're so happy together. And we look at us, we're having a laugh on Facebook. That's what people do, don't they?
Yeah.
Then the next week you see her and so boyfriend goes silent and she's all over the show, do you know what I mean?
I was in Wetherspoons like on Monday, and I could see this couple. They're clearly on a date, innit? And at some points they were just both sat there on their phones, like, and it was just like,
yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not doing that anymore, because I would just get up and walk away. Like, I'd be like, what's the point of this, isn't it? Like, why we've come out to have dinner, point? Yeah, and
but they don't recognise because they're also doing the same. And I drive for my job, so I'm driving around, and the amount of people I nearly knock over on a daily basis because they're just looking at their phone and they just walk out into the road. Like, they don't even look up, don't even look, they just walk out into the road.
Yeah. It's what I'm saying.
It's like zombies, it's like a zombie apocalypse. Like, it's like people just staring at their phones, walking.
Yeah. Robots, mate. TikToking robots, isn't it? TikTok, they're just...
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, everyone's... all these little kids are doing TikTok dances all over the show, aren't they? And I think that, again, is machine learning, again, isn't it? Like, that's where we're at with that. They're not just giving you those apps. How's that app making money? It's not. It's learning everything it needs to learn about us.
And the other way around, it's teaching them to be like robot minded, right?
Oh yeah. It's teaching it. Yeah, because they'll put something out there that maybe is a robot that everyone copies. It's got 10 million followers. Everyone's copying that dance. Everyone's copying the views of that character. And really, they're turning. They proved it with the TikTok nurse dances, didn't they? That people are just zombies and just copy it.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. So yeah,
we're in weird times. I wouldn't say it's hard times. It's like a weird time, and I feel like we're at a boiling point, and something's got to give. So that's how it kind of feels. That engine's got to blow, man.
It has, man. It has. We just got to be observing, innit? That's all we can really do, innit? Like, we just got to get the popcorn out, observe, not get too emotional about it, not be attached to it, see what's happening. And
that's not being, like, selfish or anything. It's like being free from it, you know? Because some people say to me, oh, you're heartless not even caring about this earthquake and stuff. I'm like... It's not real, for one, and that's it might be real, but if you want to believe it's real, then it's real, but if I don't, then it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not me being heartless, it's just that I don't feel my energy's going to my energy's staying with me.
Yeah.
Not putting my energy out to some fake earthquake in Turkey, it's, do you know what I mean? There's maybe something's gone on, but definitely not what we're being shown.
If an earthquake happened in front of me, Rambo, say a building dropped, I would be over there shuffling through rubble trying to rescue people. If Russian tanks,
surely.
yeah, if Russian tanks turned up, I'd definitely pick up a gun and start fighting them back and stuff. But that isn't happening in front of me. It's only happening on the TV.
Yes.
And this is the problem.
Until that happens, I'm afraid to say, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Until I get a tank on my door, or a bomb drop in my garden, or an earthquake, my back garden now split in the middle. I ain't believing it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you're not heartless. You would go and, if it was happening in front of you, you would go and dig out children out of that rubble, right? We all would.
Yeah, you won't think, hang on, let me take a few pictures first. I want get these grandkids, I'll save you now. Let me just upload these quick. I want the likes before someone else gets them. That's all. But that's what they want us to think about that. So, like, when you ask the question of why is there so many pictures of that, everyone's got mobile phones in their hand nowadays. That's just how we are nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to think. Do you know what I mean? It's like that reverse cycle. There's a double bluff always.
Double bluff, man.
Always. That double bluff is the best thing they've got.
Yeah.
Like with the sports, like I don't know if you notice it now, like the more and more coming out, like NFL's rigged and stuff like that. There's so much coming out about it. It's like they're being shown it, like magnets in gloves. It's like they want us to know it, and eventually they've already kind of admitted it with NFL, but like it was something like with the WWE. That is the double bluff. They say, "Oh look, the WWE is the fake one, not all of them."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like they've used that as only WWE's fake, but really it's all scripted. That's what they actually don't say it's fake. They don't even say WWE's fake. They say it's scripted.
Well, it's even more
use the word fake.
It's even more of a head fuck, isn't it? Because they also say, it's also very real. Have we had this conversation? I feel like we've had it. I'm getting deja vu. But yeah, they say it's very real, right? Because it's very dangerous. Like they say, yeah, it's scripted, but we really are getting thrown through tables. It's very real. Don't do this at home, kids. So WWE is actually more real. This is how fucking mad it is. WWF is more real than the fucking football because they are really getting thrown onto a table. Like that's kind of real, but it's fake at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah, and the same with the football. There is players there that are playing real and think that they're doing the real thing. And they are, but then there's a lot amongst them that are not.
Yeah.
So it's the scripted fake thing. That's how it's looking for me, and I feel like that it's being revealed to us because it's all of this. Don't you get the feeling that it's all being revealed? Everything kind of. I don't believe that we can just now see it's all bullshit. I feel like we've been shown somehow. I feel like everyone's been shown, and only some people can actually realise and see and accept that it is bullshit. Everything.
I don't know if I've told you this, but I was going to get you a book. Did I tell you this? I was going to get you a book at Christmas. There's a book called The Fix Is In. And basically a guy went to sue the NFL for like the game being rigged. He's like, I'm going to sue. And then he lost the case because they're like, no, you never watched a game. You watched entertainment. So you can't sue anyone because you signed up to watch entertainment.
That's all it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Entertainment, and that is what everything is. It's all about our attention on it. Like everything, it's like you say, it's another distraction, isn't it? That's all it is. We need those distractions from ourselves. That's like most people do. Like most people don't know themselves because they're too busy working and following the lives and sports and all this stuff of other people.
Yeah.
Of their idols. That's how they're given idols, isn't it?
Yeah. I did a survey on Twitter, and it was just a simple question: are you worried about the future? And at the moment, it's 50-50 near enough. People are worried.
Yeah, I clicked no.
Yeah.
I seen that Paul had done a no for that because I'm not worried about the future because what will be will be. Do you know what I mean? That's what I said before. It feels like everything's already written.
But do you think, Rambo, we have a responsibility for the people that are worried to kind of like ease their minds a bit? I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of.
Is that our role? Maybe that's our role. Maybe we're meant to be guidance for these worrying.
I try my best. I do. But I have noticed since doing this, there is some people that get angry even at
Yeah.
The thought of it, like, and especially sports. As soon as you start talking about sports, people go crazy, like get mad quick. Like, so they might even agree. They might even agree with me sometimes. Like, everything is fake, but as soon as you point, and that goalie's just let that goal in on purpose. No, they're not having that. They go mad.
I can imagine where you live as well, isn't it? Because, like, you know, Manchester's got a big football scene, isn't it? Like,
yeah, like with Mason Greenwood, the Manchester United player. So, like, last year, over a year ago, I said that when he got arrested for rape, I said that it's all fake straight away. And you know, the amount of people like that, you're a sick guy, saying this and all that. And then what happened the other day, on the 33rd day of the year, the exact day that it was actually the 33rd day of the year before, when I said that he was going to get away with it, and he got away with it.
Yeah.
Walked away, all charges dropped, and he'll be back in the team, and he will be an absolute legend. And I'm expecting, just for the mockery, the handcuff celebration when he scores.
Oh yeah. I remember you saying this.
Yeah, and he will quickly. People are still saying, "Oh, he should never pull on his shirt again," and all that. It will quickly show how people just forget. All he needs to do is score a winning goal, and he's done nothing wrong. Look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went to jail for rape. All these legends, every legend of the game has been done for the rape charge.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mike Tyson, he's done that, and he's an absolute legend, and he even told us he went to jail for it.
What's your thoughts
it's
on...
like, people don't care. And it's not real anyway. I don't believe it was ever real anyway, but it just shows how easily the public they forget.
Yeah.
They don't care. That guy's a legend. It's Mike Tyson, do you know what I mean? And it'll be the same with Mason Greenwood. All these same people that are saying, "Oh no, should never play again." Soon they'll all have the Mason Greenwood shirts on, chanting his name at the match. And I feel like he's going to make it to, like, kind of Rooney, Ronaldo kind of levels for United.
Yeah.
Legend in the making.
Fucking hell, man. I don't know.
His name literally is Mason, like, it's right in your face.
Yeah.
Mason. Yeah. And it's all the signs and symbols. He's doing all the, like, the devil signs all the way through the thing. Then the team's called the Red Devils. I think I've done this. I think I've repeated myself on different times about this over the last year, and basically everything we said would happen has kind of happened with him.
Yeah.
So I don't expect anything less than the handcuff celebration at some point.
So are you watching sports these days purely to?
Yeah, it's purely to see how fake it is.
Yeah.
Purely to watch the goalies sometimes, like, move his hand, like. Just so things like that, and it's not normally all sports or anything, it's just like the bigger games and stuff. They're the ones that seem more obvious. Anything with City, United, Liverpool or Arsenal, Chelsea in it, there's usually going to see some sort of fix.
What's the next big sporting event coming up? The Olympics?
Well, Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Super Bowl on the 12th of Feb. That's kind of like a big thing for the conspiracy people in it, you know. Probably going to watch I can't watch the game, it's a load of crap, but I can watch the beginning just to keep up with what's going on, and probably see if I can see my own thing, and if it's entertaining in it to look for the things. So that's another form of entertainment for us. We're giving it like a side game.
Yeah.
In the queue, we're giving like a different game to play.
Yeah. I nearly got recruited into an American football team over here the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fucking, I don't want to play. That's the fakest game out there, isn't it?
Have you played it before?
No, but I was just on a sled. A sled in the gym. Like, there's like a track of like green fake grass, and you can put weights on.
Yeah. You're pushing or pulling the sled.
Yeah, I was doing really heavy on that, and the guy was watching me. And he finally came over to me. He goes, "Oh, have you ever thought about American football? With that power and wish shit." And I was like, "No." And he's just saying, "Yeah, no." And I was just thinking in my head, isn't American football like the fakest fucking make it up game as you go? Well, I still don't get how they play it. They just
throw the ball and make it up as you go along, don't you? Really?
But you can basically switch out the whole team every 10 minutes, like, and put a whole new.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. You have an offense and a defense and all that. Yeah, it's one of those. So I tried to watch a bit of the Super Bowl, and I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, you can.
I was just seeing 33s all over the show.
Yeah, so it looks like it's just a made up game, purely just to pump out numerology and fucking spell casting and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
But they kind of just made up, like football. They're changing the rules all the time, and that, aren't they? You know. Now it's just like, if anything goes wrong in a football game, it's just like, don't blame me, blame the computer. It used to be the old surround the ref. Now he just points at the screen and goes, yeah, the computer said no, mate. No goal. It is so. It took the heat off the refs because the computer's always at fault. And there was one a couple of weeks ago where they should have used the computer and the camera didn't work or something, so the referee made the wrong decision. So there was a goal, the goal got cancelled, but after they got the cameras working after the game, they seen that it was a goal. It should have stood, but the referee had already called it as a no goal.
So now they can just take it to the next level of manipulating what's considered a goal or not. You know, that sounds
yeah. They've done it in the World Cup, didn't they? All those added minutes, they're just showing you. You just do what you're gonna still watch the game. They don't care. You're gonna watch the game. And it makes it more controversial. It makes it more talking points, more things to talk about in work tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't. I'm always wondering, Rambo, like what to do next with my life, and I just don't know, innit? Because
I think it just comes to you like that. I'm in the same thing. Like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And I feel like it just appears in front of you what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Always has done. For me, it's always has done. When you think I'm at a dead end, something else comes along where I'll go that way, then a different path will pave its way.
Yeah, because I think even if we did enter World War III and it was official, I reckon nothing would change. You'd still just be able to do the same boring shit you would do now.
Yeah, nothing would change, but only people around you would be panicking about it and making it real and feel real. Like, other than that, they would fall for the illusion of the police driving up and down the streets or a tank driving up and down the street. They would fall for that.
Yeah, and
that's all it takes.
And there'd probably be a lot more job. You probably could participate in it a lot more. There'd be like probably open jobs in the military, like a bit more casual kind of jobs. Like, oh, do you want to be a secretary in the military? Do you want to be a COVID marshal, but in the military because it's a World War III COVID thing now? And shit, I keep saying that word. This ain't gonna go on YouTube, is it? So yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Interesting times, isn't it? It's very boring. It's very boring.
That's all it takes, isn't it? It's going to be fun times, but I do, like we said earlier, World War III will be televised. We'll live in life as we are now. Only everyone, just like 2020, will the panic and make it all real and they will all take part. They will all take part. Everyone around you will take part in the whole illusion, and it becomes real. It's manifested into real, you know.
Yeah.
We make it all happen for them. So like you said before, they're putting it out there and we're just manifesting it for them. We're creating their world or they or that or whatever it may be. But yeah. I do like to think sometimes that it is whatever it is that is in control is controlling to keep us in control, because there's not that many of them, and they hide from us what we actually are, don't they? Like, nobody knows what we are. Mm-hmm. And do we think, like, they have us believe we're living in a spinning ball in infinite space, and we are the only life. Pretty lonely.
Yeah.
It's all that isolation feeling, isn't it? Like, they want us to feel alone, and we're just nothing. We're just people. We're not powerful. We're not. The magic's not real. Everything's hidden from us, and I feel like some big power is hidden from us, from what we can do and what we actually are.
Yeah,
this noise.
Yeah,
all the noise keeps it away from us, hides it from us.
Here's a question for you, Rambo. Do you think can we escape? Can you leave this matrix? I'm not talking about when you die. I'm talking about Can you
like,
physically?
Mentally, I feel you can. You have to take part, because the only way you can actually leave this matrix is now, I would say, is to get yourself a tent, throw your phone in the river, and just go and live in the wild, in the bushes somewhere. That's it. That's as free as you can be, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Like, they don't, like, survival, like, in school, why aren't they teaching you survival skills and stuff like that? They don't, do they?
No. But do you not
really,
think...
in school you should be learning fucking hunting and stuff like. But yeah, that's the only way I reckon you could be free, is to, as free as you could be, is to have no phone and no form of internet connection.
Do you not think, this is yet again another crazy theory in my head, that somewhere out there's a door, and you go through that fucking door and you're in a different world, and it's like, oh,
like the Truman, yeah. I get that feeling. Yeah, I do get that feeling. And sometimes I think, is that where these celebrities go, or whatever? Is that where they go? Is there multiple doors? Is there many doors?
You know what I'm saying?
Dimensions, holes, whatever it may be. There's this. It does. I sometimes do feel like that's what it is. Because we do feel contained. I feel like we are contained as we are, like in our little bit of a map. Yeah.
Because no matter, I feel like no matter where I go on the map that I'm allowed to go to, like even when I go to like abroad or whatever, and I lived in like Egypt for a little bit, and I was living in like a new world and that, but I still felt I'm still in the fucking Matrix here. This is just a different weather system, a slightly sandier version of the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. Yeah. I'm not I'm still in it. So
that's it. There's no to be physically free from it, where you don't have to take part in this Matrix. I don't think, other than like say throw the phone, go in the woods, I don't think there's another way, because you can be mentally free. I feel mentally free from it, that I'm not affected by anything they say or do, and nothing really worries me about what's to come or anything. It's just all going to be as it is. And I feel that is a form of freedom from the Matrix. But to be physically free, you still have to pay your bills, you still have to do things, you still have to take part in the Matrix to survive in the Matrix, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, it's philosophical questions, isn't it? You could go on fucking forever, innit, about these questions. So yeah, I don't know, man. Interesting, isn't it? Like, because that's a question that's always on my mind, isn't it? Can we escape this place physically? Like, I know we can do it mentally, but can we actually physically do it?
Maybe we can. No, maybe this way is open for all of us, and they've had us think it's a big ice wall, but really it's not. It might be something that we can open up ourselves right now.
Yeah.
But it's hidden from us because our minds are just busy always with crap, noise, and we can never concentrate. You may need a level of concentration to open up another dimension. Like that, I kind of lean to different dimensions, and you can just cross over. I don't think you have to drive to a certain place and find the door. I think the door is always there.
Right. And this is what I keep saying to people, isn't it? Like, and what you just said. You're never going to learn how to travel like that if you're constantly watching Netflix and tweeting and all that shit. You need to practice like lucid dreaming, astral projection. You probably might have to take a bit of mushrooms at the same time, and it probably might take you 10 years of practice, like getting your black belt in fucking karate or whatever, to get there. But while you're wasting your time tweeting about Sam Smith's fucking devil outfit, you're not doing the work, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is exactly what I think. It's all about hiding the potential of what we can actually do, hiding the power from us that we've all got. We all carry this power.
Yeah.
Or the real ones do anyway.
And that's why, for everyone listening, I think this is definitely going to be my last year online. I'm basically, I was thinking about leaving fucking last month, and here's the funny thing, Rambo, is that every time I'm about to leave,
something pulls you back.
And it's something specific to me, like that fucking balloon flying over America, it's something that relates to my kind of work, like illusion warfare and military and all that kind of shit. So
it must be. It's like sometimes it's like
it knows
you're getting bored. Like I hadn't posted for a while and stuff, and then all of a sudden Mason Greenwood gets lifted and pulled back in by that.
Yeah.
I've been just like disengaged with everything, thinking like, oh, I'm bored of this now. And then Mason Greenwood gets released. I'm like, wow, it got me. It's like it's got me back in. Then the earthquake happened straight after, like, and that kind of pulled me in a little bit because it's obviously not what we're being shown.
Now, isn't that freaky though? Isn't it freaky that there's a supposedly
That's
8 million
what I'm saying.
people?
The algorithm's giving us what we want to keep us on.
Yeah.
It's suggesting this. It's like how it'll suggest you a mattress or a pair of trainers. It will suggest you a news story it knows that you will be interested in.
Yep. So I know, like,
help yourself.
yeah, I know that. I think it's June. In June, that's 2 years I've been online, and I said to people, I always said to myself, innit, I don't ever want to be on Twitter more than 2 years. I guarantee you, though, like the day before it becomes that day, something big will happen in fucking
Something
Ukraine.
big will come, yeah.
Massive in Ukraine.
When I joined Twitter on the 31st. It was on New Year's Eve going into 2020. So
there you
New
go.
Year's December 2019 on New Year's Eve, I joined Twitter.
Oh, and then here you are.
Here we are.
Do you know what I did? Should I tell you my little story? What happened to me on that exact time?
Yeah.
I met the fucking girl of my dreams, came into my life, and I went for my first date with her on New Year's Eve. And then once the party was over, I went and, I went to her. I had a fucking hotel, and I fucked her and everything. But anyway, I just think it's weird that my dream girl, like in my head, I had an image of my dream girl, and it like a Russian accent, blonde hair. She was a Latvian, and she magically appeared, and I met up with her on the fucking and went and spent time with her on the beginning of 2020, and that's when my life got fucking nuts. And it sounds like the same with you, like because you're obviously like very popular on Twitter, and you're basically an influencer now, whether you like it or not, Rambo. You're an influencer on the internet, and it's just weird, isn't it? How 2020, literally day one, hour one, it all went a bit nuts for us. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like with the lockdowns and stuff, I was like at the point where you knew when it was coming and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and then I was pointing out straight away, look, it's on 11.3, like 3:11 to 33. I was at that point at COVID, but I said it again. I was at that point then, but I was still at the point of like everyone's a satanic pedo, basically.
Yeah.
I was at that point of like following everything and like going, oh yeah, they all need locking up and all that stuff. Like do you remember when everyone used to go, they're going to Guantanamo Bay and Gitimo, they call it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's not even a real place, I don't think.
Nah.
I don't think it's a real jail. I don't think there's a jail there. There's nothing there. It's like a secret location, apparently.
Yeah.
So that means it's only in your mind. It only exists. Gitimo only exists in the mind.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
And then you just picture what it is. Like going past, I used to picture all like orange jumpsuits and like Tom Hanks in one. Go across, Harvey Weinstein in the net. Nicole Kidman in the net. So like,
Yeah.
That's like how you pictured it, didn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Not there.
Although Donald Trump could come back, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think he's going to get back in at some point soon. It'll be great for the end of the world kind of thing, what they want to kind of have us believe in.
yeah.
Like, because everyone, because do you know what? Like, people still hate Trump, don't they? It's mad. It's mad out. It's like, that's like an NPC thing for me at this point. It's an easy way to spot an NPC. At this point, they still say, oh, I hate Trump. It's just like, I heard it not even just the other day. Like, oh, you can't have him in his, I can't stand it. But why?
Yeah.
Like, even though we know he's a character, why do these people, they've made people hate him, and they've also made another side love him?
Yeah, I know, isn't it? Yeah, very divisive.
He's like the perfect guy for what's going on right now. And like we talked about in this conversation the other day, again, honestly, I talked some mad stuff. And we talk about like Biden and all these videos that are out there, like where he's like hugging kids and sniffing kids and all that. This is the president Oh, as if they would put those videos out there, as if it's the president of America. And I mean, it's like they can't be real, these videos where he's saying these stupid things, like ridiculous things. Like there's one where he goes, if you want to protect yourself in hurricane season, I don't want to say the word, get the thingy now. Get now.
Yeah. It's just
all this can't be real. It's the president. Why is nobody saying like? And although they are going, oh, he's mad and everything, he's still got people that support him and stuff. And there is people out there that support what. Do you know what I mean? And he's another one actually. Talk about Biden. The people go on like he's always been there, but has he always been there? Has he always been around the White House and stuff, or is it just the last few years and they're just showing us all these young pictures of him where he looks so different in all the pictures, and it's like whole conspiracy there. They always knew all along that people were going to say Biden's in a mask and stuff like that. I think that they knew all along.
Have you seen all of the if you go onto like President Putin's got his own website and there's always pictures of him when he's young, and it's clearly fake because it's like the same kind of face he's got on all of his young pictures.
It's kind of like deep fake. He's like kind of deep faked all the time, Putin, isn't it?
Yeah.
I noticed that all the time. He's just deep faked in pictures. Even him over the years, you can see like when it is a person, it's a different person, a different actor. I don't think there even is a Putin either, like there isn't with any of the others. And is there any? We've seen so much love for Ukraine and the Ukrainians and all that. I've not seen one interview or anything or heard anything from a Russian who has been in Russia now whilst this is all going on.
Yeah.
Is there any? Why haven't we heard from one single Russian that is in Russia now? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, they don't want the Russian side of it. I mean, you can go and find it, but it's not mainstream. Like they'll never have mainstream Russian, a sensible Russian person talking sensibly. They won't allow that, right? Because we've got to hate Russia, right? They're trying to make out Russians are animals and they're just pigs and they're. So the last thing they want is just a genuine conversation with a Russian person going, yeah, I'm not that bothered about the war, I don't support it, you know.
Did you see that the other week where they had America sending tanks? This all ties into that World War III narrative. America sent 321 tanks. Like, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
And that was the big announcement was like on the 33rd day of the year.
Yeah.
The big meeting.
How can people not follow at this point now? How are people not following these patterns? Like, you don't have to be a maths expert or whatever to just follow that was on the same day as another. Do you know what I mean? You don't. But when I try to tell people, like, it's just dates between, like, and stuff like that, people think, like, it's nuts. It's just the most basic thing ever. Like, the numerology is so basic and it's always the same. And people can't see that that is being used in our faces and think certain dates are being used. And it all kind of lines up in the long run to be biblical.
And that's why they've given us this fake calendar, isn't it? Because they can do that with this fake calendar, right? That's why they love 12 and it's 3, 6 and 12 because they can fuck around with it so much, you know?
Yeah. The shitty the calendar that was just like, one day they just went, I know this. Today's the first day of the first year ever for everybody, and they'll accept it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's just the enslavement. The calendar and time is just to keep you locked into your dates and times, so you know where you've got to be and what day you've got to be there. You know, not to enjoy, not to work on yourself, or it's all about your day off and living for the weekend and stuff. What people do.
Well, I remember, you probably done this as well, when I was a proper gym head, innit? My life revolved around when my next chicken and rice was. Every 2 hours, chicken and rice. And that was my day, was revolved around fucking... How stupid is that? What a waste of my life, innit?
Yeah. Protein shake. Yeah, I need a protein shake at 2, and then I'll have my chicken and rice at 3. That was like... he like all the way through, and I was like, what am I doing with myself? Like one day that did kind of click. He's like, am I training to be a bodybuilder? No. Am I training to do anything? No. But what am I doing then? Going all out like this just to look good, or you know what I mean? It's like it's all about the aesthetic. It's about feeling good. I'd rather just go and I'm at the stage now. I just go to the gym and stuff just to feel good.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to compete or.
But I used to get
myself if I'm nearly gonna die on a treadmill and stuff like that.
when I was back doing a bouncer, a doorman, I'd get girls come and like pinch my arms or go on about how big my biceps were, and that would obviously feed my ego and think, yeah, man, I'm.
Yeah, do more tomorrow, more kills in the morning.
Yeah, because that's another thing that keeps you in the matrix, isn't it? Sex, attraction to the opposite sex, and that's another big thing.
They're attracted because that's what they see on the TV.
Yeah,
these big muscly guys or on Instagram and stuff like that, and then that's what they want. Do you know what I mean? It's the standards they've raised based on what they've seen on TV.
Yeah.
It's a mad world. We're basically the Sims, aren't we? It feels like the Sims.
Yeah.
Someone else is controlling. Someone else is playing it. We're just.
Did you ever play The Sims?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Played The Sims. I was more into theme park world, where you like build your own theme park and set little things up for people to go and get big queues on that, and same thing as well. And it's just like life. Well, just putting different attractions for us to go up. And
if you remember Theme Park World, right? If let's say you installed like a slot machine, you could change the level of people winning, and if you made it people weren't winning, they wouldn't go on it. So you had to make it the right amount that people were winning, that you were making money, but not so much you were losing money, right? To keep the customer happy.
Yeah.
That fucking game, that game is a good little... is a metaphor of life, right? Of how you've got to like kind of keep the fucking people happy, but fucking steal their money at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Essentially stealing their loosh. Their loot. If we can like make it a metaphor, you're stealing their loot. That's what it literally is. That is the Q movement.
Yeah.
That is Disney. Yeah.
It's not about money, is it? At the top, very top, people can be controlled by money, but the people who distribute and print the money can't be controlled by money.
Yeah.
Their job is they want something more than the paper they've just printed. Like the other week I was hearing about how Prince Harry is like screwed everyone over for money and all that. Like it's just like obviously bullshit. He's got his nana's face on the piece of paper they're talking about.
Yeah, money's infinite at that level. But wait, let's not move away from Theme Park World, Rambo, because this is
high places.
Yeah.
It is a good. That was a good, like you say, it's a perfect like metaphor of life. Is the theme park world. Because
if you remember, if you made a ride too fucking scary or too like too aggressive, they would all come off and puke. And they
won't do it. Yeah.
And then you'd have to hire a janitor to go and clean up the puke, because if people were walking past puke, they'd become unhappy customers. If they were unhappy customers, they wouldn't come to your park. So you had to make them happy customers that would spend their money, right? Oh man, And The Sims,
right there all the way back then.
And The Sims, like, really, The Sims should be the most boring game in the world, but we all really fucking loved watching a guy or girl or whatever you chose waking up, going to work, eating a pizza, then you buy a fridge, there's a better pizza, and then you leave the pizza box, and then the pizza box goes smelly, then he goes smelly, and then you need the toilet. Boring. It sounds like the most boring.
Like relationships into it and stuff like that, didn't you?
Yeah, you start kissing them, then you start dating, and then move in, and you have a baby, and one of you dies, and it's just like,
why then you go get an house and move houses and stuff. It's just life.
But
that's
why?
What we are. We are the Sims.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people who are thinking for themselves can actually realise that something isn't right, and the world doesn't just run all by itself, and it is being controlled.
Yeah.
Being controlled to feed. It feels like controlled to feed something with our energy. That's what it feels like to me. Everything. It feels like I'm at the point where it is about energy and it's going somewhere, and that's that's it. And I've kind of had that experience before with the mushrooms. You kind of get to see, and you're not tripping and stuff. You kind of just see that it is. There's something else. There's something else. The energy is going somewhere.
Talking of, there's a beach I go to, right, Rambo, and it's my favourite little beach. It's got like a coffee shop at one end. It's got golden sand. It's like a strip, right? But it reminds me of a place in The Sims. You remember there was like a Sims add-on pack where you could finally leave your house and go to like the mall, or you could go to the beach, or you could go to a disco. Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, why do I like this little section of The Sims? Like, because it's like, I shouldn't really like this idea of just being in a little contained box, but I do. Because it's all convenient and there and stuff, and it's like, it's just mad, isn't it? Like, I don't know, it fucked in my head a little bit when I'm thinking, like, wow, yeah, I'm like a Sim. I'm enjoying this little section, this little roped off section. Mad, yeah.
Maybe one day we'll find out. I like to think we will.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, I don't want the answers. I like kind of trying to work them out and thinking for yourself is kind of like a entertainment in itself, isn't it? You know, when you kind of thinking of things, because obviously every thought in our head has come from someone or somewhere else, but it's nice when you take those thoughts and think of your own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your own idea of what things could be. Like I say, when I'm walking around without my phone and just looking at the sky and just weird stuff, just like the trees, and just looking around and what's around me and what is it? I'm asking myself what it is. What is this?
Yeah. Enjoying the mystery of it all, like.
Yeah, I enjoy the mystery. Someone said now today, here's the answers to the world, here's everything. Be boring anyway.
It would, yeah.
Be bored out your head, wouldn't you? You know it all, you know everything.
A bit like Rambo, The Sims. Remember when you got that the cheat code, you could just buy everything. It became a bit of a boring game, innit? Because you could just buy everything.
Maybe the controllers are bored of knowing everything, so they're just making shit crazy.
Yeah, I think there's something to that.
You could do that on the game, because you can make things go wrong and stuff on purpose.
Lock them in a room and put like 12 ovens in there until they burn themselves and all that shit. And
that's real what they're doing, isn't it? The controllers might be bored of the game and like, okay, let's just fuck it up for everyone for a bit. Make it wild, let's have some fun with this. They're in control.
There's a good film, I've forgotten what it's called now, but basically this cult, I'm going to ruin a film for everyone, even though I don't know what it's called, but a cult would come and kidnap you, right? And then they'd put you through your worst fears. So the main character, her fear was spiders, so they keep like tying her down and letting tarantulas walk over her face. And eventually it broke her so much that she became like this really... It broke her, and then she became like a spiritual being because she'd overcome her fears, like. And I don't know, there's something like that. They're trying to break humanity so it comes back better, build back better, you know.
Build back better, yeah.
Kind of very Masonic, isn't it? Like order out of chaos and all that kind of shit, you know. They love that kind of breaking it down, building it back up, breaking it down, building it back up better, you know. So there's definitely some of that going on.
Chaos and giving you the order.
Yeah.
To sort the chaos.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on, man. Anyway, listen, we've been talking for a long time. Should we end the recording here and we'll do another one?
Yeah.
Sometime later.
Yeah, we'll jump on any time. Yeah.
So Rambo, we never do this, but you should probably like say where they can find you, what you're doing on Real Eyes Radio and stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Seek the Truth 101 and the same on Instagram. And yeah, the podcast to do with human vibration at Real Eyes Radio. There's quite a bit of that on Apple and Spotify to listen to.
Yeah.
So go and see what you think.
And over on Patreon, I'm a patron of Real Eyes Radio. You're doing a lot of good reviews and stuff of films and that lately. I just listened to
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Yellow Brick Road. And...
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a good little community over there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we have the Discord where anyone can join in the chat and stuff like that. It's good things on there at the minute.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Like you say, the movie reviews is something different as well, because it takes away from what's going on and all this. Some like this Sam Smith stuff. I ain't got it in me to talk about that, mate. It's boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm doing a recording with HV later in the week. So yeah, man, it's good. There's good conversations over there, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, right. Cheers for having us on, and we'll chat soon.
Nice, man. I'll speak to you in a bit.